say right now. Let me see if I can pop this. Is that pop out of it? I don't think so. That's okay. So, webcam is on. Stream should be up, but we'll just right now for the first few moments, we're just going to be going over just the basic stuff and how this seminar is going to work. Dre, are you here, Dre? Just making sure you're here.
I am here.
Okay. Everybody's here, so that's good. Really, the way this seminar works. So first off, everybody, welcome to the Level Up Academy. This is one of the first of many seminars that we're going to host for free, as well as a part of a program that we will be launching in the future. Essentially, this seminar, what it'll consist of, is really your basic just replay analysis that a lot of people here would be familiar with, and it's going to be two 2v2 replays. So we're going to do the first match or the first replay. We're going to do 2 replays. And by the way, the session will last about an hour and change or so, maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter. We'll play it by ear. And we are going to go over a 2v2 replay, high-level 2v2 replay, which consists of dralii from Team BDS and TRK from Team Falcons. And then on the other team would be Zen. Everybody knows Zen. And a player named Reeyko who uploaded, or Reeyko, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, who uploaded this replay to Ball Chasing. So basically, 3 players in the lobby are French. So Zen, dralii, and Reeyko are French. And Reeyko is also not just a random player. He is a player that has made main event, actually finished, I want to say 12th through 14th in Regional 5 of EU RLCS. So not a pro, but still a very high-rated player. We're going to be watching mostly dralii's perspective for this first game, and we'll look at everybody else. We're just going to take a dive on what these guys do, and we're going to incorporate it and make it relative to how you can play in your games. And after that, you're going to notice that we're going to then transition to a Champ 2 replay, and a lot of the similar concepts, albeit right, they are pros, are going to be similar in somewhat in a Champ 2 replay, and it's going to be really similar to the kinds of games that a lot of people watching this seminar will be part of. There's a lot to learn. So I do encourage you to take notes. This seminar is also going to be recorded, and we will have it as an unlisted link. Maybe we'll talk about, we haven't really decided how we're going to distribute that afterwards. So I know that it's a Saturday, and I'm grateful that everybody is here. But we are recording it as to allow people that didn't get to make the seminar to still watch it afterwards, so that if they do learn something from it or just felt that they missed out, then afterwards we can invite them to watch it and maybe incentivize them to come to our following seminars. But yeah, this is the first of many, so don't, everybody's here. Thank you. I'm very thankful for you guys to be here. But there will be people popping in, I assume. But really, what I want to say is that this is one of many. So with that, don't be too sad if you can't make this one, if you have to leave early. This is something that we plan to do because we want people to really just get better at Rocket League. That's the whole intention here. Not just get better at Rocket League, but become a better person overall, because there's a lot of things that you will learn from this replay that, although they are Rocket League specific in terms of gameplay, the way and the method that you obtain these kinds of skills that these players will have and the things that these players do in their games are the kinds of like the method, not the technicality of it, can be used and applied for other aspects of your life. So with that, Dre, are we good?
Yeah, we are good to go.
Yeah, so that's about it. In terms of the intro, just some free play going on. Again, I have the webcam on, which is not something I typically do, but I want to make that just a frequent thing that happens throughout these seminars, because I feel it makes them more personable, and you'll be able to see me and gesticulate the kinds of points that I'm trying to make. So I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but with that, I've also had a bit of coffee. Got some coffee on deck right here, Dunkin' Donuts, East Coast, New England. Let's go. But we're just gonna get to it, and really, it's just your traditional kind of seminar, or just kind of replay analysis. So let's just get into it.
Yeah, a big tip I will say is, like, obviously you guys may not have the same mechanical ability as these players, but try to see, some of the concepts we've coached you guys here and try to see where they apply to these pro player replays, essentially. A big one is possession, right? In some of the lower ranks, a lot of players don't possess the ball really well. So try to see how often these players possess the ball, especially in 2v2s.
That's really the case. It's we're going to talk a lot about possession, but we're going to go technical when it is apparent and obvious that we need to be technical, because there are things here that are genuinely very complex. Rocket League intrinsically is a pretty simple game, right? Shoot the ball into the net more than they shoot the ball into your net. And there's not very many mechanics that will, or many things that we will. How do I explain this? Let's take a step back. It's more so going to be that there are a lot of technicalities, but the approach and the method that they use and the kinds of ways that they make their decisions quickly are things that you can do no matter the rank you are. And that's really about it. Right now, we're going to take a look at dralii, and we're just going to see really what's up with him in this replay. I've watched this replay once. I'm not going to lie. I didn't want to dissect it too hard because I want to save the dissecting and the improvisation of how I'm going to deliver this for you guys. Because I think that in improv, yeah, I can look at a replay 50 times over, but I feel that when you do that, when you study something several times, you will of course make main points, but it's easy to gloss over stuff that I would have thought of previously. So I'm doing this live, and we're doing this again. I've watched this once, but not dissected it. But here we're just going to do that. For the second replay, is a random guy, Jez. Excuse me. We are going to. It's an arbitrary replay. Searched up ball chasing, champ 2. Everybody in the lobby's champ 2, and we're gonna just watch them afterwards. But really, let's just get into it. Spanish kickoff off the start. By the way, really good strategy you can start using in really any rank that you're in. Middle Eastern players, I wouldn't be surprised if TRK called this. This is a common thing that Middle Eastern players specifically do. The French players aren't too keen on kickoff strategies, or at least not the Spanish kickoff, so to speak. But Middle East players, even though it is Spaniard players invented this kickoff for the most part. Probably TRK called this, but it sounds cringe, guys, but kickoff strategy is very important because what the kickoff is determining the possession. The reason the Spanish kickoff is so frowned upon and so aggravating to play against is because it's very easy to just, everybody just goes for the kickoff, but you can very easily score a goal. And of course there are, it won't always work, but a goal is a goal at the end of the day. And I don't think a goal did happen, but a possession was determined, and Zen had to make a save here. Had to make a good save, no matter what happened here. So we can look at this even from TRK's perspective. Spanish kickoff gets called, right? Cheats a little bit to say. You can see how to do this, by the way. When you're in the center spawn, it's a lot easier to call a Spanish kickoff. So if you want to start implementing into your games, I don't encourage that you call for Spanish when your teammate or you is in either the middle right or middle left spawn. I encourage that for you to call it to get into the habit of doing it. Do it on the center spawn because it is easiest to anticipate the kind of kickoff that will happen. And then ball goes straight, roughly for the most part. When this kickoff happens, they won't, if they're on this side, so like Reeyko's on the left side while he's in the middle, the ball will generally follow a path to go either straight down mid or a little bit to the side, generally, when players if they do their normal standard kickoff. Because you can even see from Reeyko's perspective. We'll take a look and we'll see that he didn't really, his kickoff was pretty normal. And he just by default, assuming dralii did go for the kickoff, it will almost always go like that. So a little bit of a just kickoff strategy that you can implement into your games. And we can go back to TRK's perspective to just see how this came to be. Nice touch to himself, pass himself off the wall, and just takes a shot. This shot is definitely high-level shot. Nonetheless, TRK doesn't really, of course he's trying to score this, but it's not really bad if he does or doesn't score this because this isn't a really easily possessable ball because it's off the kickoff. So this is really well played by them and definitely something you can do in your games no matter the rank you are. Nice. dralii takes time here. Beats Reeyko. Reeyko is closing the gap here. And here we're trying to determine the possession here. So Zen gets a touch that isn't really possessable by him or by dralii, but here, this point in time, what this player is doing, he sees that Zen's getting this save. Okay, right? He even turns away as Zen, even before Zen gets the touch. Reeyko closes the gap, even flips to let dralii know that he is going to contest this ball. So he just hits this ball high and keeps it close. He doesn't need to pass to TRK. He doesn't need to get it over the defender. I guess he gets it over Reeyko, but more so, he needs to not give this ball away for free. And that is the name of the game in all game modes of Rocket League. Is that this is granted a mechanical touch, right? Touches up and he's able to follow it up. But more so, you don't really need to be mechanical, or rather, you do need to be mechanical, but you don't need to be as mechanical as him to follow this ball up as he does here, right? He just kind of keeps it close. He goes for a flip. And this is slightly a mistake afterwards, but more so he kept it close. He could have kept it close this entire time, and he didn't need to catch and get this flick, because right now, this will also happen once you start getting, once people realize that you can be threatening on the ball by being threatening, meaning by just being close to the ball. They will just try to let you do your thing here. So dralii could have actually taken time to not just instantly flick this ball. He flicks this ball because he's scared of getting challenged, and it's difficult to make these kinds of decisions in this moment. But he's trying. Notice that he flicks high on low boost specifically to stall time for himself. But what is the mistake by dralii here is that he forces a save that will, no matter what, clear the ball across. What dralii should be doing in this situation, and I'll talk about why this makes sense in a moment, dralii should be doing is not taking a far post shot. This is actually, shot placement is very important in Rocket League, because the way you take shots is the way that they're going to save the ball. So right now, if this player shoots this ball far post, right? Sure, Reeyko's covering ground, Zen's on backboard, standard defense. We can talk more about it as the replay goes on. This is 12 seconds into the replay. When you take a shot far post and the player will have momentum into the save, it is very easy for them to run into the ball again, essentially pass it to himself, just as TRK passed it to himself off the kickoff here, right? Hits it to the wall to then hit it to himself again and take the shot. What's going to happen here when dralii finishes making this play is Zen is actually going to be in a somewhat similar position. And it might not be easily defendable because dralii won't be able to get back to this as fast as he could. Zen forces a save across. TRK plays close, but then he doesn't respect the shot. So it is slightly a mistake by dralii, but it's more so that he let Zen hit this ball for free, or as in get enough momentum on this. So really what I'm trying to say here is that be wary of how you take your shots in Rocket League. You don't have to always shoot close post or far post. You know, if you can place the shot, place the shot. But here, this is a pretty unscorable angle for the most part. There's both players waiting for you to just kind of dribble towards them. If you shoot wide, they're going to have momentum into the save. But whereas if dralii flick this ball even close post right here, maybe they even double commit, and Zen can't have momentum into clearing this ball far. He will just have momentum to either clear this ball back close to TRK, or Reeyko will have to deal with it otherwise while TRK is behind him. So shot placement is very important because it dictates how they're going to get the save. And this is just a really good shot by Zen nonetheless. And TRK was a bit lazy on defense, but we can just watch it from his perspective. Touch off the wall. TRK doesn't contest here, and then he's off his line for that brief little moment as to take Zen's boost. That boost is actually there. Replay review doesn't always let you see that, but takes a really, really good shot, and it does go in. You could even see from TRK's perspective, we can see how he could have saved this. So again, slightly a mistake by dralii here. Not the worst mistake. Players aren't always going to take this kind of shot, even in high SSL. They're not always going to take this kind of shot, and especially put it on target, post and in, right? TRK was off his line for 0.2 seconds. But really, he should be respecting the fact that no matter what, Zen will be able to hit this ball here. It is really greedy to go for this boost when it's just an apparent shot on target. Go back to dralii's perspective. Shot placement, very important. Solid kickoff. Contest for the mid boost. TRK's on the ball here. There's not really a whole lot he can do here. TRK gets touched to dralii. Right, keep the possession here. TRK doesn't need to possess this ball, even though he's 1v1 versus Reeyko. His team just needs to possess the ball. He gives it to dralii. He has an easy touch. A little bit of a hard touch, but now here, notice that when he got this touch, he recognized that this isn't necessarily scoreable. Like, this touch innately already was not on target when he got this first touch here. Like, it's not on net, and Zen is getting ready to defend the backward because it looks like he might go high. But dralii recognizes that. So he just tries to keep it close and at least not make the ball possessable for the enemy. So this is more so taking the 50 here. He doesn't try to score this. He just tries to not let Zen have a free ball. TRK is going to be ready to rotate. So is Reeyko. dralii picking up any small pads and maybe cuts for his teammate because he still has momentum into the save while getting back. So TRK is just kind of babysitting dralii here. Is really what you need to do here. He doesn't really need to go because dralii is still going. He can still go for this ball and allow TRK to get an easier touch. Again, nobody has exact possession here, but that's what this fight is for right now. Is we don't want no team wants the other team to get possession, so they're just going to make it as difficult as possible. Get in line. Hey, pretty insane recovery, pretty good touch, but Reeyko just doesn't have a clear touch here. Nobody has any free ball in this very moment. They're fighting for that right now. Reeyko passes to Zen. Zen keeps it close. 50 almost fakes TRK. Nice 50 off to the side. Very deliberate by Zen as well, right? They're playing for it to try to get a good possession. This is a pretty mechanical play. Zen doesn't need to catch this ball, put it into the air as he does, but he just needs to keep it close, right? Not really trying to get a shot. Again, just not letting TRK or dralii get a free ball. 50's behind him to the side towards Reeyko, so maybe Reeyko can follow this ball up. touches back again. Higher level, don't really need to go for this. Like honestly, doesn't need to go for this at all. This is just this is one of those things when you're one of the best players in the world. It's kind of you develop a different kind of sense for the game in that you know that your teammates are capable of this kind of stuff. But really, what is happening is that he's just not letting dralii get a free ball. That's ultimately what this is. And dralii follows him up. Dralii again, one of the best 2v2 players in the world, alongside Zed and alongside TRK. Right, currently right now top 10 in 2v2. Just not letting them have the ball for free, not letting him pass to Reeyko, so he pre-jumps the touch, just to not let him have it for free. And TRK contests, Reeyko contests, still nobody has possession, and Zen just messes up his recovery. And notice that this is Zen, right? 3-time, right, in the same split on his rookie. Got into Vitality, won 3 regionals, won the major, won the world championship in succession, right? And he still messes up his recovery. So if Zen can make these kinds of mistakes where he's just kind of going into nothingness, I'm pretty confident that players worse than Zen, maybe like some of the players that are in my lobbies or your lobbies, can make similar mistakes. dralii, again, as we've mentioned several times, and notice that this will be a theme here, keeps the ball close, doesn't have a free ball. Finally, dralii gets like a clear possession, a touch that he can control, and Zen is he's just trolling. And this will happen in your games. This, like, Zen can do it. I promise you, even the players you will play against will do that as well. The threat of the shot is scarier than the shot here more than anything else. I encourage you, by the way, to speak up in the seminar chat if you have anything to say. If you would like to request to speak, Dre will take care of it. If you want to ask something, this is me, of course, or Dre and I, of course, sharing and exchanging what we know about this game with you guys. But if you want to say something, you don't have to, right? Of course, it's not imperative. But if you have a question, you want to talk about something, why did this happen? Why did XYZ happen? Ask away. And we're here to help that with you. So I just want to remind you of that. Normal cheat on kickoff, a little bit of a hard cheat. Secures the boost. Zen knows he can't go for the ball, so he takes the boost. Not a free possession here. Can catch this ball, but Zen will be on his way back, and he just hits it. All right, dralii's not really playing to get a goal right here. He's playing to depossess the players. Reeyko keeps it close, 50. Zen keeps it close as well, 50 as well. Nobody can get a possession right now. Secures a boost. Pardon me 1 second. Pardon me, somebody walked into my room. Normal stuff here. 50s again. This is a really good play, by the way. Like, just in general, if you are trying to contest the ball, or even like Reeyko in this situation, when you're in a situation where you can't really easily clear the ball, it is not bad. Keep it close and just let dralii, right, major champion, to just 50 you. Or a major champion, sorry. I don't know if he's a major champion, but major offensive MVP, I want to say. It's okay to just let them 50 you. Now, it's actually one of the best plays you can make. It's a very neutral play. Hits it into open space, lets his teammate follow up. dralii can't follow this ball up, has to leave it get boost. Zen keeps it close on the touch. TRK contest. Pretty high level stuff, but this is relatively normal. dralii jumped for this ball is to not let Reeyko have a free touch, right? He's not here to try to get a goal here. He just doesn't want Reeyko to hit it for free. But even then, right, this is a professional player. And so is Reeyko, but Reeyko is, I don't think he will be mad that I'm saying that dralii, TRK, and Zen are better than him. But Reeyko did nothing here. The threat of him being even jumping for this ball is enough for dralii to just jump for the ball and hit the ball away and not get a good touch. Right? He just waits, puts himself in line to where roughly dralii was. If you're looking at dralii this entire time, which Reeyko's paying attention to this interaction, what Zen is about to do, right? Not flipping, right? Just driving around. Notice, right? No flips, no boost usage, just not going past the ball. Waiting for TRK to get this touch, and now when this happens, he's paying attention to dralii. dralii jump, waiting for dralii to jump again. RLCS pro that makes over $80,000 a year passes the ball to top 12 EU for free and just shoots an open net. Right? Is the threat of just showing that you can go is scarier than actually going sometimes. So especially in the corners. Corners are really scary overall. That's why dralii is panicky in this moment. He didn't want Reeyko to get a good touch, so he just jumped, but he just got a missed touch. And again, right, two pretty fatal mistakes already by Zen, world champion, and by dralii here. Just not really something you need to do. Like, you can jump, but if you're going to get this kind of touch, it's not bad for dralii to jump for this, but if you're going to do this, like the theme of this seminar so far, just don't let them have the ball for free. They'll let him just shoot it right down mid into your net. If he's going to jump for this ball, commit to the jump. Hit this ball high, because you're not playing for a goal here. You're playing for them to not have a free possession, or at least not just a free shot onto your net. And that's the mistake by dralii here. Just hit the ball high. deal with it elsewhere. Don't deal with it while it is potentially in front of your net. Nice, solid kickoff, hard cheat by TRK. Secure the mid boost, let TRK do his thing, get it over one no matter what by TRK here, because it's not really an entirely scoreable angle with this kind of bounce, so he just gets it over Reeyko, just so he can't possess this ball. dralii does take a shot, goes off the backboard, and one of the few moments where you can actually hit it off the backboard. The TRK is ready to play defense in this moment. Keeps it close, brings it back, right? He's like, okay, I'm not even going to try to get a goal in this scenario because dralii missed his shot here. This is not really like you can't turn. You can maybe turn and bring it up the wall here, but he just takes it all the way back. Take it to the boost, right? The ball cam off, line himself up with the boost, and just make sure he gets a good following series of touches. Good as in make sure that no matter what, he knows that he knows when he can be contested. So keep it close and not anything too fancy in this moment. Zen off the ceiling has to just show that he could go, forces TRK to keep it close, but pretty mechanical play. Nice. Beat over one. 50 here. Keep offensive pressure. 50s keep offensive pressure when you, for the most part, when you are trying to take a 50 and you're on offense. Really, really good recovery by dralii, by the way, here. Use of power slide here. But when you're taking, this is insane. When you're on offense, something that you can do, right? Because again, he doesn't even try to take the shot here, right? Like TRK does pass to him, which is not something you want to do too often. But if you're this close and you're already committing to the pass, right, instead of just letting Zen have the free ball, 50 it deliberately to a place where it's not easily contestable, right? Notice how he even air rolls his car here. He just goes up to it, goes to the side, and it just forces into the corner, and it forces high as well. And this is deliberate. Reeyko can't possess that ball for free. So he hits it high, try to make Zen possess it, try to make dralii possess it. Zen's not giving it up for free until somebody eventually gives it up. And even here, very difficult to possess, so he leaves it for TRK. It's just 50s, a lot of 50s. Like almost every single thing that happens here is a 50. This is a beat now. He has to beat Zen here. Can't possess the ball. Doesn't want to let him have it for free. dralii keeps it close. Don't let him have it for free. TRK's up, takes a shot. Really insane save, but this is like what it is, right? Gets a good 50. Like Reeyko actually took a bad 50 here. Took a 50 that goes out mid. You usually never want to take these kinds of 50s on defense. If you're going to 50 this ball, he excuse me, he plays for the beat more than anything else. When you don't really have to do that in this situation. He can just keep this ball close, not flip, and just let dralii come to him as opposed to him taking the dralii with 50 or taking the 50 with dralii. You never really want a 50 on mid, but still really good save by Zen. Clears it along the wall, by the way. When you're getting saves, is something you can do in your games, is when you're getting a save on the ball. Notice how Zen, granted, right, really insane pre-jump, and it's still a really good save, but in general, when you're making a save, you want to keep the save along the wall, usually. If you can keep the ball along the wall, that is usually the safest way to clear a ball. In order to score the goal, you have to not have the ball on the wall, usually, and that's why this works. This works in every rank. When you make saves, try to keep it along the backboard or rolling into the corner, is what Zen does. Almost deliberately, but it's more so just getting the ball out, but he does keep it along the wall. Nice. Musty by Reeyko. We're on Zen's perspective. We can just let it run here. Or actually, we can even go to TRK's here. Again, right, it's the same kind of thing. Musty by Reeyko. Keeps it along the wall. Slow rolling for dralii. Now he can possess the ball. Keeps it close. Player contests. Beats over one just to beat one. TRK closing the gap. This is a 1v1 scenario right now. So dralii's 1v1ing Zen, but he's not really playing for the goal. Go to his perspective for a moment. He's not really playing to score this ball. He's playing to get this ball not on his side, right? Which is a thing that you should be doing in your games. You don't have to play for the goal immediately. You have to play for the goal eventually. So he gets it by one as to eliminate the player from the play. The way to eliminate a player is that you move the ball past them. For example, move the ball past Zen while this player now goes behind you and the ball is moving forward. That means you've outplayed a player. And then TRK recognizes this is a 1v1 scenario, and so does Reeyko. So they will both close the gap and not let Reeyko possess this for free. You see that he beats one. Also, by the way, his positioning here, waits for the 50. Shouldn't really be trying to get dunked. If you're going to get dunked, or at least try to get 50'd into the side as opposed to straight down the net. But if you can get the beat, sometimes it's not bad to get the beat. 1v1 scenario, they both close the gap. They'll let Reeyko possess it for free. And he doesn't even go immediately. Like, he could have gone maybe right here. But he doesn't need to go yet. dralii needs to recover, but right now it's along the wall, and he's just letting him 50 here. Pretty neutral play. Keeps it close, not letting anybody have it for free. Still keeps it along the wall. dralii still keeping it along the wall, right? It's very safe play. Very not super threatening here. This is a not bad right here. Pretty good control here. Dribbles by one, flicks. Tries to go for a bump. I don't really encourage this kind of bump. This is a pretty scary bump to go for if you can. If you are going to go for this bump, go for it with a single jump. Because usually when you do that, you're kind of just trusting that your teammate will have your back. And usually, if you can't threaten the bump, like he forced an awkward touch, your teammate will have your back. But a lot of the times, it's good to just jump and just land. And try to bump, but don't flip onto the bump. It makes your recovery a lot more difficult. Reeyko slightly trolls, just takes a shot, close post, Zen hits it to the side. Nice. So closing the gap here. Zen doesn't get the greatest touch, and Reiko's in net. And notice this is a really slow shot here, because he can take a fast shot. But he takes the slow shot deliberately as to let TRK recover and get behind him, get in line. This is pretty high level here, but TRK instantly gets in line as soon as this happens. He goes for one. Okay, doesn't get the free net. Right. Notice, by the way, ball's in front of the net. He just kind of goes. Like, he doesn't really, he just goes because he just has to go and threaten the fact that he can shoot this. And it just forces Zen to get a touch. Pretty good touch by Zen. And then instantly gets in line right away. In line between the ball and the net here. They're getting ready for Reiko's touch and for dralii's shot if he did shoot it fast. Stays between the ball and the net, hangs out for a moment, and then this is actually pretty good by them. Able to keep the possession here, but I think the mistake here is that Zen missed the boost. So, again, world champion, by the way. All right. He misses the boost. So, just to let you know. Not really a whole lot to say in this situation. But yeah, let's speed it up a little tiny bit so that we can then go into the next game. But there's, like, you see the common themes in this game, right? It's 2-2, about almost exactly halfway through the game, 2:29 on the clock. It's really keeping the ball close a lot. That's really what you want to do most of the time. So let's go back to
as well as 50-50s. You guys need to realize like you don't really need to have all these flash mechanics, right? If you're able to 50 the opponent, right, you can keep pressure as just a team in general.
Yeah. It's not about the goal immediately. It's about the goal eventually. Back right kickoff. Nice. Steals the boost. TRK has possession. Normal stuff here. Nothing too insane. Reeyko tries to get it by one. TRK beats. And Zen closes the gap in this 1v1 scenario. A bit of a tricky shot to go for. So I think dralii jumps more specifically for the threat of him jumping, because this is a pretty difficult ball to score. He hits this ball high as to, again, not get the goal immediately, but just to not have the ball easily possessable. Now let Reeyko get a free touch and hits the ball high. Now TRK can follow this ball up. Like, again, right, he jumps pretty ambitiously. I don't even think I would jump for this ball. But this kind of jump is you just hit it high, right? You're beating the player if you have to beat the player, because it could be open, so you can make that decision mid-flight. But simultaneously, keeps it high, right? Nothing too fancy, nothing too out of the ordinary here. Just keeping the ball close so that he can eventually make a play like this. Now the ball's floating and he's the first to the ball. Threatens the flip reset, doesn't get the goal, but this is pressure here. You will eventually find a spot. Doesn't even have to flip there. He can also just 50 the player, and this basically works as a 50-50 here. Just trying to get a ball past the player. TRK keeps it close along the wall, right? Doesn't let himself get 50'd in the corner, stays behind the ball here. And he does hit into it. Reeyko does close the gap accordingly here. So they're both kind of playing 1v1 scenarios in this moment. And he sees that once TRK didn't already go high, notice small pads, right? 28 boosts, maybe cool 40 here. Boost a little bit to close the gap. He's just closing. This is what you would do in a 1v1. Just like how you would play this in a 2v2, this is how you would play it in a 1v1. Zen just covers the high option. The other player covers the low option. Closes the gap. And still, zero boost. Just keeping it close, right? Not flipping, not doing anything too insane. Gets it past the player. And this is not something you always have to do, but he's more looking for a bump more than anything else. This is a situation where you can get a bump and pass. And Zen even plays it pretty well here. This looks very scary, but it's not. Because if we even look from Zen's perspective as well, he does beat one. And Zen deliberately 50s has to go into the corner. Keeps it low, rolling along the wall. Gives him time to recover, Reeyko to recover. And then, again, TRK, dralii, two very high-level players get dunked by bottom 12 EU.
Yeah, so taysech, Trendy has a question for you.
Pardon me, yeah. Let me see. So there are a lot of moments in this game where dralii, for example, has little to no boost and still challenges the player on the ball multiple times to depossess. What's a good piece of advice you can give us to help us do that in our games without just doing too much in ball chasing / overextending? So that's a good question, Trendy. So what it is here, the main theme of those kinds of challenges is that when you are trying to, so we'll let this happen, like just let this goal happen. Really, what you need to know here is TRK, because I want to pull up a situation where exactly what it is you're talking about. But here, TRK just gets dunked, right? and dralii played across, and it's just an open net. But let's just go to a situation to what you're talking about. So like how to contest without overextending. So you'll see that a lot of the times when these players contest the ball, let's say we can even go dralii, but we'll just like see what happens. We'll just let it go. Just let it run until it happens, because there were situations in this replay, but it's a lot more difficult to find it immediately. Really good save. Honestly, that's almost an open net. Or so we can even go to TRK here. I think TRK is looking to challenge in this kind of situation. What happens a lot of the time is that every time they contest the ball, it is almost always a beeline to defense. Like every single time. Like every single time they make their play on the ball. Oh, the audio's kind of messed up. It's a little funky. And this guy's just being mechanical, doing his thing. It's unfortunate that this hasn't happened yet, but you guys are playing kind of slow because it's towards the latter half of the game. But when these players, yeah, this is lazy. Let's go farther back. Let's just run it through, and just see where dralii contests as well. Because I do want to answer this question, because that is actually something I did want to talk about. I thank you for reminding me of that, Trendy. I want to talk about why challenging is very important, because that's what I was saving for in the next replay. But it is good to talk about it here. Not too much happens here, but I guess let's start. Let's just let it run, and I'll just talk about it as it comes up. So, with contesting the ball, when you're challenging on defense for the ball, what's really happening here is that you're trying to get in line between the ball and the net, but every time, even here, right? So this is an example right here. So he cuts across the field. And notice that this challenge is not directly down and straight down the field. When he gets these kinds of contests where he's just kind of ball chasing just to hit it here, and then hits it once, and he just kind of goes again, he's just like doing whatever here. What's happening is that every time he contests this ball and tries to contest this ball, he's getting ready to play defense if he has to. Notice that even on this touch here, you'll see it very briefly. But TRK is behind him, cuts for him, takes off ball cam. For this brief moment, this is very high level actually. For this brief moment where he touches it right here, he takes off ball cam to see if TRK made a turn. This is to see if TRK is ready to anticipate him touching to the corner here. Because if not, then he's going to go again. And he's the entire time keeping the ball close. So when he contests, he is there to keep the ball close and get ready to play defense if he has to. Look, even here again, 50s here on low boost. Keep the ball close and not let it be freely possessable so that his teammate has time to recover, but no matter what, he can get back to defense. And look at this immediately, right? 50 happens here, contests, gets a 50 out mid, and then instantly is not even pathing, right? Not even towards a big boost, mid boost here, no matter, like he's not looking for that. He's looking to get between the ball and the net, right? That is, I guess, the easiest way to describe this. So let me just reread the question. So there are a lot of moments in this game where dralii, for example, has little to no boost and still challenges the player on the ball for multiple times to depossess. So it's a good piece of advice. You can help us to do that in our games without just doing too much in ball chasing and overextending. Is that every time you contest the ball and you're going to make your play on the ball, and you can't immediately affect it afterwards. For example, here, right, where you 50 and the ball goes not immediately pursuable, you put yourself between the ball and the net. TRK takes the shot, but he's getting ready to defend the net. Okay, they got a time for a save here. Look at this. He closed the gap again here. Not picking up any big boost, just closing the gap. And almost a mistake here, but TRK is behind him. These guys rotate pretty fast at this rank, so it'll be more prevalent in a lower rated game. But he knows that TRK is now in path, right, getting between the ball and the net, going behind him. So he will close the gap as to just show himself more than actually trying to go for the ball here. Just being between the ball and the net. TRK also right here. Pad lane gets between the ball and the net here. He goes a little bit to close the gap because if you're paying attention to Reeyko's not going to immediately shoot this ball, but he's ready for that right here. Right? He see this little like turn he makes. We can even go in slow-mo. You'll see that he goes kind of left, right. We'll go in slow-mo like right here. All right. He makes this little turn left, right. And usually when people make this little swivel, it means that they're getting ready to make a decision to either instantly contest or instantly go back. And so they're on a swivel. So they'll do it right here. See that little turn that he makes right there? He goes left, right, maybe like 6 times right there. Is to see if Reeyko was about to take the pinch or not. You can see it as it happens. He recognizes that a pinch is not happening. And he's getting ready to be between the ball and the net. If the ball gets pinched, he's going to be in this line right here. But it's not going to get pinched. So that's really, I guess, the theme is that instantly when you make your play, when you're going to do anything to the ball on defense, rather when you're trying to contest the ball or getting ready to contest the ball, once you do that or don't do that, put yourself between the ball and the net. All right, dralii goes here. It says to close the gap, let TRK get behind him. Again, these guys rotate quick. Let TRK get behind him, close the gap, and then now get between the ball and the net again. TRK can get a save here. Nice, this is normal stuff here. Now we can even look on defense from Reeyko's perspective. Right? or let's go. Yeah, we can even go Zen, but here doesn't even go for the big boost here. Just straight back, literally a front flip, right? Not even like a diagonal flip, but just picks up some pads, getting ready to go to the net immediately. And TRK is going to come contest, keep it close. Now he knows that dralii should be behind him now, so he can do anything, just stay close to this ball. And TRK is just kind of ball chasing here, but now he knows that it's dralii's turn. And now what does TRK do? Go, get boost. And dralii has time here, so if you're paying attention to this play, you'll see that dralii has time to, or TRK has time to get this boost because there's nobody on the ball yet. So he's going to grab the boost, secure it, and then now play towards midfield, get ready to be between the ball and the net. Be between the ball and the net the whole time here. Hanging out, be between the ball and the net. Dralii hasn't.
If you go back a few seconds there, you'll also notice how dralii tries to bait Zen into this play to then outplay him, right? Instead of just going up the wall and pinching this up the wall, right? He takes his time here, right? Gathers possession, and then outplays him, as in tries to make Zen challenge so he can get past a defender, essentially.
And I think that's the main way to answer this question, Trendy. Like, I think that's what it is that instantly when you are contesting this ball, when you know that you're not contesting and you're letting your teammate know that it's his turn to contest by getting behind him and being between the ball and the net, you will very not often overcommit because you're going to be behind them and between the ball and the net every time you make your contest. So you're just always ready. Like, you're just on your toes the whole time. And you might not have time for big boosts all too often, but you don't really need the big boost all too often. You just need to be between the ball and the net, and that's enough. And then you'll eventually work your way up to a big boost. The ball will go there. You will find time, and that is how you can contest this ball. Does that answer your question properly, Trendy? I think that was pretty solid. Or if you want us to elaborate, we can do that. I'm just gonna let this replay run for a little bit so that we can go into the next replay because it will be a lot more prevalent in those kinds of games. And we'll skip a little bit ahead. So yeah. Just let it run. Let's go to Zen perspective. Why not? Everybody likes watching Zen. Let's just see what happens. Keeps it close. Not the greatest touch. An okay flip. Really insane touch. Almost bumps. Nice open net almost. TRK can't really find this. Nice touch. Hits it really fast. Also another thing. If you can't hit it high, hit it really fast so they can't easily possess it. Gets behind his teammate in this moment. Flips to get behind Reeyko. Reeyko touches once, hangs out for a moment. Reeyko might close the gap, so he's behind him, getting ready to defend the net. Now he's backward. Reeyko's on ground. Reeyko should be challenging this ball. Nice. Ball gets hit high.
Yeah, and notice
keeps it close.
So that's the most standard defense in pro level play, where essentially a player climbs up backboard and forces the player high, right, for the player on backboard to possess, right? So you can see in the challenge
player on ground.
Where's Zen?
Continue.
So Zen goes up the wall, right? And then Reeyko takes the ground position, and his objective is to force TRK here to hit the ball up into Zen, right? You see how he goes kind of low here and doesn't pre-jump the play, right? That is your objective as the first man. You are trying to force high for your teammate on backboard.
That is exactly what you need to do. Right? He knows that TRK is super duper mechanical. He knows that TRK can get a quintuple reset if he really wants to. He even got a triple reset here. And that is his goal here. Play on the ground. Usually you have to signal it to your teammate here. So you can see it right here in this little moment. He looks for Zen. Literally, he's like, okay, Zen is going backward. That means that I need to go. I'm on the ground, moving at the speed of TRK. And just plays the ball. Doesn't play that TRK will get 5 resets and try to get it over him. If TRK gets it over him, that's what he wants. He wants the ball to go high to Zen so that Zen can have the ball. So because if TRK doesn't go over him, then it's just a free contest for Reeyko. And then Zen keeps it close here. Doesn't bang the ball away, takes his time, gets between the ball and the net. Again, backboard, jumps off, stays in front, see if dralii wants to contest. Okay, he doesn't want to contest. I'll bring it down to the ground. Fakes him out. dralii, and guess what happened in that play there? Right? Like, really.
Name of the
Where
game,
is bro going?
guys, is possession, right? Zen doesn't just clear it away, right? Because he's in an awkward spot. He tries to take possession, right? He tries to bait the opponent. The opponent doesn't challenge, so he gets full possession now.
And dralii's not between the ball and the net. And maybe he thought TRK would be behind him, but It's these kinds of things. If you're real, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's really what it is. It's really what you need to do for this. So let's let it run, and then we'll do the Champ 2 replay, and we'll get her going. And just see what happens. Mechanical stuff. Nice touch. Minute on the clock. Nice pinch for TRK. Doesn't let Zen easily get it. TRK following to close the gap. Right, he's in front. He's watching over. He tries to force over. Even notice here, right? By default, TRK's on the ground. Dralii's on the backboard. Same position as last time. Almost really insane by Zen. Reeyko gets a 50. Keeps the ball close. Dralii takes a 50. Gets the ball close. TRK gets the ball. Keeps the ball close. 50. Dralii keeps the ball. Gets it over one because he can get it over one. TRK has possession for a moment. 50. One touch, 50 again. Dralii has a bit of time to grab this boost. It's a bit ambitious, but not bad. 50 into the corner. Keep the ball close. Fakes here. Now, situation for a possession. Look at how many 50. There were like 9 50s taken in the span of 12 seconds. It's what this is. Letting TRK deal with that. Not something you should do. You shouldn't really try to go for this boost too often, but if you are confident in your teammate, you can do something like this. Control touch. Let's Reeyko 50 behind him. Tries to get a demo. A bit ambitious. Low time on the clock here. Not really a whole much you can do. These guys are playing keep away more than they are playing to actually win the ball or like win the match. So that's what it is. And that's really all we have for the pro replay. But again, right, there are a lot of things happening that we definitely didn't talk about. But we're trying to highlight the most important, right? It is play on the ground, force the ball high for the player backboard, be between the ball and the net. Stay close. Keep it close. Take the possession. 50 it. Keep it along the wall. Right? Do those kinds of things. And now we can look at this replay. I've only watched this replay for like a minute. But these are everybody in this lobby is Champ 2. And I actually want to ask who should we watch? Dre, if you want to, or you guys, anybody, if any of you guys say a name, we'll choose a player and we'll watch that player out of these 4. Yef, Erad, Dekur, Jez, or Shoyo. Jez? Randy, you said Jez Raindrop. Do you object? It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to lie. It's just to do it. Raindrop? 50-50? Oh, you've played Jez before. There you go. No, let's do it then. So let's watch him. It's his replay, I'm pretty sure as well. So we're just gonna watch him then. Everybody on Octane, Fennec here. Pretty normal kickoff here. Bit of a mistake there, but that's okay. It's lazy defending. So 2 things here. Shoryu doesn't need to get this ball. Like he doesn't actually him hitting this ball or not hitting it doesn't really make a difference in what happens here. He can just wait for this ball to happen and anticipate a shot being taken because that's what the other players are getting ready to do. So you can just wait for that, and if nobody goes, then you can make the decision to go. This isn't really anything too insane. You don't always have to jump for this ball. Sometimes you can, but usually if you see the player jump for that ball, like they're just going to pass it to you. And that's what this is going to. He's just going to stall time for himself to get the boost, but they're going to give away free possession. And then Jez, a little lazy on the defense. This is not really like he really double jumped and missed. He didn't really even wait for the shot. He just kind of jumped at nothing. When players are taking shots from this far, from basically the midfield, you can just wait for their shot. This is not really ever a threatening shot, unless it is very fast. But this shot, I'm pretty sure everybody here can save this ball. And we can see it here. He just double jumps preemptively. So, again, everybody in this lobby is Champ 2, but this is arbitrary. But I think there is a lot of things that we can highlight here because I watched some of actually specifically Jez, so it's funny that you say that. Or you guys mentioned to watch him, but he's a little mechanical. Solid kickoff by him there. Shoryu touch to the side, keeps it along the wall, gives time to Jez secure the boost. Shoryu keeps it close, 50 in the corner, nice. Jez closing the gap, awesome here. Nice. And Aaron, I don't know, I'm gonna call him Era. All right, just Era. Getting these touches here knows that he can't really get a goal, so he just makes it difficult for Jez to possess while he can get the boost. Jez keeps it close and a bit rushed here. Right, doesn't really need to go this fast in this position. Right, you can try to air dribble this ball, and that's actually not bad to challenge yourself and go for these air dribbles. But for the most part, stay behind the ball here. Don't give it up for free. Like you'd rather make a less mechanical play where the ball is not given up for free than try to air dribble it past 2 players in this position. But he still tries to keep it close. This is fair. Not a good jump here, but he does keep it close. So he does recognize his mistake, and he does, like, you have to improvise in this game. So you just keep it close. Doesn't need to jump for this ball. This is already his play as first man. Just let the player hit it. You already messed up, so just get ready to put yourself between the ball and the net. And that's what Shoryu does here. This is good positioning by Shoryu. All right. Just waits for one touch, be between the ball and the net, waits for the touch. Nice touch. Jez leaves now. It's fine. Not flipping to go past the ball here. Needs to close the gap fast here if he can. Yeah, this is a kind of a difficult situation here, but what really the way to notice what's happening here is that you couldn't possess this ball, right? And this guy, Era, he is at the ball while you're not at the ball. So the simplest way to deal with it is just let him have the ball and put yourself between the ball and the net and eventually close the 50, close the gap. And he just doesn't do that. Lets the ball go past him. As we talked about at the beginning of the last replay, you've outplayed a player when you have the ball moving past them and them behind you. So now he has a free dribble on this ball. Now Jez is a 1 versus 2 scenario where all Shoryu had to do was get that touch. Fine. If he gets this touch here, just leave it. All right. That's the same mistake Jez did. He tries to get a touch, stays close. Right. Then he tries to go again when he's just dusted. And then Shoryu hits it once. And then he tries to go again, but he is just already dusted. Or we saw it from his perspective just a moment ago. So just let them have it sometimes. You have to allow the player to hit the ball. And this is kind of bullshit. Not going to lie. This goal is like kind of insane, but it's a little bit of a nonsense goal. But again, the mistake is letting them have it for free to begin with. Like you don't want them, like there will be time. If they have it for free, at least force them to actually outplay you, not just jump at nothing. Cheat on kickoff here, but it looks like back left. Nice. Mechanical play here, keeps it close, gets one touch. Doesn't need to dunk this other player. That's fine. This is normal here. Nice. Yeah, this is pretty good. Back on Jez's perspective. Shoryu doesn't really need to hit this ball here, but this is good by Jez. Nice being between the ball and the net here, closing the gap. 1v1 scenario. Really, really good by this player here. Actually, this is exactly what you should do. So this is really a one-on-one scenario. So Shoryu is on the ball here, but he closes the gap. It maintains his supersonic, not using a lot of boost, not flipping. Closes the gap, and then now shadow defense. And instantly challenges because Era for this brief moment is not on target. He's possessed the ball, but he hasn't fully possessed it. As in he has it for this brief moment and he can flick, but if he flicks, guess who's behind him? Guys, a little bit backwards, but he's there. So, and this is pretty good contest by Jez. Just not let him have it for free. And he understands that his teammate is behind him. Nice. Close the gap. Jeff gets one. Nice demo. Really, really good play. This is honestly like pretty freaking good. Like everything that happened here is almost exactly what you should do. Gets a 50, keeps it along the wall, closes, flips to close the gap, lets Jeff know that he can't have this ball for free, and just drives through in the demo. Doesn't actually jump, doesn't actually have to kill him, but just lets Jeff know that if he doesn't move, he will die. And so he dies. And then free ball for Shoryu, takes a shot. Era, it's like, that is pretty routine. Like everything about this was pretty good. Contest early. Close the gap again. This is a situation, right, where you can just keep on contesting. He's technically on offense, but he was on defense for this moment. He's on offense roughly for this moment. He's trying to fight for the possession of the ball, right? He just eliminates the player, and Jeff just kind of passes it. And that's really just what this is here. Pretty solid stuff by Jez here. But yeah, again, you're encouraged to speak up when you can. Nice. Solid kickoff. That is the power of the kickoff, by the way, gentlemen and women and none of the above. Let's just get a good kickoff. This sounds so stupid, but really sit there and practice your kickoff. This guy has a pretty solid kickoff. It's like almost a speed flip, like almost a perfect speed flip. It's more diagonal than it is a speed flip, but it's pretty good. And the ball just goes into the net, and guess what? It's 2-2 now. So that's all it is here. The other player just didn't have a good kickoff. It's just a kickoff goal. Cheats on kickoff. Nice. Take back left. Let this ball roll for a moment. You don't have to hit this ball.
Yeah.
No.
Again,
no.
so
like,
time.
Right? Yeah.
What's up?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just like you saw in that previous pro replay, right? Where Reeyko was baiting in one of the players, right, on offense. This is the same scenario, right? You have all the time in the world, right? You can, let the ball roll down and make a better play, right? If anything, that player might become antsy and, go and challenge. And that's what you want. You want to bait these players, right? You have all the time in the world. Abuse it, right? Make a better play. Because right now, this play just kind of gives away possession, right? There isn't much you can really do.
Yeah, it's what it is. And the way to know that you have time here, Right, first off, the kickoff goes into the back corner along the wall, so you know it's safe. But at any moment, you want to be wary of the players, of course. You want to look at the players, but he sees him on his screen right now. At any moment, should Yef come to this ball, then you start getting ready to either put it past him or 50 him. But in this time, in this situation, just let the ball come down. Really take this turn, right? You can go close and like threaten it, if Yef is coming close, but he's not. He's waiting for that to happen. Take a turn and just drive down with the ball. Keep it close. You don't have to be mechanical. Just keep the ball close. And that's what the players in the last replay were doing. They weren't just hitting this ball for free. Like, Shoryu is there, and maybe it is a pass, but for the most part, you don't want to, even in your rank, but even just like how you saw, there weren't that many passes in the last game. There were a few like passes that were done, but for the most part, they just take matters into their own hands. Just like how you should. Take matters into your own hand. Take this ball. Outplay the player. Let your teammate know that, I have possession, and just help me out. Get ready to support me. Not just pass it to your teammate who has no boost upfield and then go for the ball. Now you have to go back on defense. This is okay defense by him. You shouldn't really be flipping back here. Again, make this kind of mistake. Okay, pass it to the team, whatever here. Don't need to flip back on defense here. This is a 1v1 scenario. Like, very rarely in a 1v1, for example, this ball gets popped up. He can't really possess this ball. You know that another player is going to contest here. Very rarely do you want to flip away as they're about to possess the ball. Like, you're asking to get 1v1. Like, you're asking to get cooked. That's just how it is. So in this situation, don't really need to flip. Just get ready to be between the ball and the net. You see the other player. You see where this ball is. Use the ball arrow. This guy took off ball cam. Drive in this direction and just go in front of it. And if he sees that he looks like he's going to shoot, defend the shot. Get ready to defend the shot, but don't let him have the space. This is a chance now. Apparently, Jack is your dribble bumping you in this scenario, and you're going to get scored on in this situation every single time. I promise you. Jan, right? South American Furia Pro, one of the most clutch players to exist in the game. He is going to cast this ball right here and just air dribble bump you. Solid save. This is okay. Nice. Take time here again, but hits it high at least, so that's not bad. Nice. Threatens a jump. Doesn't need to flip there, but nobody has possession yet. Secure boost in this moment. Let's show you do his thing. You don't have to leave too far. Nice. Really good by this guy, actually. Nice. He doesn't need to leave here. And he knows that he doesn't need to leave for the boost because nobody has full possession. So he'll find a boost according to where the ball goes. Nice. One touch. Tries to keep it close. It's okay. Jeff can't keep it close. Jez playing solid here. Let's show you do his thing. Left 50. Defend from inside the net, by the way. Really good here. This is a really good position to defend from. You don't need to be in the back post position. Just turn into the net here. Really good by this guy. Hang out. Yeah, one touch. It's okay. A bit of a hard touch there. Didn't really possess it, but not the worst touch. Not an easily possessable touch either way. But if you can, keep it along the wall. Right here, right? Use the boost and side flip it, right? Hit it so that it goes off this wall and maybe even into the corner. Just so it's not, this player doesn't have a chance at a free shot because this is a little scary for this moment. Teammate has to make a save. Nice. A bit of a bad turn there because he wasn't looking at the play, but that's whatever. Uses a lot of boost as well. He beats everybody to this ball already, so he doesn't really need to use as much boost as he is here, but he does keep it close. Nice. Just gets it by one. Knows that he can't really get a goal because he messed up his possession. Nice. Right, this is another situation. He knows his teammates behind him, right, Trendy? Similar to what you were talking about before, and challenging. Right? He knows his teammates behind him. He's not looking to just get the even here. He could have gone again and closed the gap. He hits the ball over one and he just takes off ball cam. He's not looking again. You can take off ball cam. See, okay, is he on the ball again? Just go across and just be in front of him. And forcing this guy hits it high no matter what. But he can hit it high and then this player will have it no matter what. He gets behind his teammate. Solid, but that's a little unfortunate actually. It's not a great touch by Shoryu, and he just kind of got dunked. It's kind of nonsense. But this is a normal thing to happen here. But what is more deliberate is you can go to Shoryu's perspective. That you see Jez kind of rotates in front of him in this situation, where if Jez just stays close again right now and doesn't flip away and stays to not to flip for this ball as well, but just to be close, then Jeff will, in order to outplay this guy, if he drives in a straight line, Jeff will just drive it into him. So he will hit this ball high no matter what. And then it's a lot easier to understand that. Now Jeff goes behind and he gets a touch. This is a hard touch, but this touch is only hard because Jez is right in front of him. He's trying not to get bumped. He's anticipating the touch. And then it's kind of this is a nonsense dunk, but this dunk doesn't really need to happen because Jez can at least force this player to hit this ball over than just arbitrarily have the player hit the ball over. It's a lot less predictable. Coming up on the hour mark here, by the way, but we're almost done here. Nice. Here's the boost. Ball is along the wall. Nice demo. Gets it over one. It's not bad here. Ryu keeps it close here. Fly off with it. Keep it close. Don't even need to play the goal. Just keep it close. Nice. Oof. Jez. Placement, I guess, but this is solid. Shoryu, again, I need to reiterate that these guys, everybody in this lobby is champ 2. So this is like relatively mechanical here. But he doesn't even he plays for the goal, but he tries to play it off backboard, but more specifically, get it by both of the players. One of the few situations where you can pass off the backboard. Both players are contesting you high. Your player is on the ground waiting for whatever happens there. And then Jeff takes the most insanely placed shot ever, which is what you need to do. Would you prefer in this scenario for second man to be left side to threaten the pass? In which scenario? Remind me. Remind me according to the clock here. Or just tell me when. Like in this kind of scenario or before this. 254-ish. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, in this scenario right here. Yeah, so this is a pretty normal. So because this is off, so you're talking about this, right? Just to make sure, like this kind of position right here, where he gets this demo. Okay, yeah, let's see. Gets the demo in one, right here. Yeah, it is not bad to actually play across here. Like you can play across. Playing forward or across is actually not bad in this scenario because the goal is you can play across. It's actually not bad to play across in this scenario because no matter what, so this is a good question because what happens in this scenario is that no matter what, this player, Jez, is even if you're across, it's usually better to play across than to play by rule of thumb. You usually want to play across the play. But no matter what, even if he decides to play across, it gives him the avenue for the pass, right? Which is not bad because it would be an uncontested pass. But simultaneously, when you go up this field here, like say you come from across, or you come from like this kind of position, then what happens is you're gonna get you don't go between the net specifically. When you come here, you're getting ready to either turn in and go this side, or you're getting from the other side. You're going to come in and get ready to turn inward as well, to be between the ball and the net and get ready to cover all those avenues. That's really what this is in this situation. So you can play across if you'd like, but you don't really have to. Like, it's not bad to play across. It's just no matter what, the position is you need to beat every other player to this ball here. So, because you see, he ends up kind of being on the left side, right, which is where the ball goes. So you can end up being either side. It's just no matter what, you need to just understand where this ball is going. I think that answers your question. So it's actually not bad to be across here. Just don't let the ball go over your head.
Yeah,
That's really
it's
what
like
it is.
especially like you wouldn't mind being across because your teammate also has full possession. As in the play is gonna end up on the other side of the field most likely, right? Because if he's going across like this, right, the other team is going to hit it across, right? You could just see it from the play. You could logically kind of like map out
Yeah,
this play in your head.
yeah. It's the same. Like it's kind of funny, right? I didn't even try to deliberately draw the arrows, but like look at how the arrows go, right? It's like here he's in a situation where he sees he gets it over one. He could be on this side, but then on the left arrow he would have been roughly in the same position as well. So kind of interesting. Yeah, I think that answers the question. It's no matter what, you can be across. Just get ready to not let the ball go over your head and be between the ball and the net. Nice kickoff. Take the boost if you can. Ouch. It's fine if you die there. Kind of hit it away. Just can take time. He'll just let these guys have this ball. All right. Like, you see what I'm saying in this situation? It's like you can defend from inside the net here as well. And he doesn't. He kind of goes like to the post where really he can go in a position like in here and just get ready for you have to hit this ball. And actually, that could even give you an open net here because he realizes for a moment he had an open net. No matter what, these guys don't have a clear way to score on you from here. They're probably just going to give it to you. So just let them hit it to you. Really,
Yeah,
just let them hit it
and
to you.
like, can you map out like the path again that he should take here, right? Because this is a very
Yeah.
common mistake players make, right? When defending, they think that when you go back post, right, you want to be like kind of along the post, but the best position is actually
Whoa.
inside the net. Whoa, okay.
Whoa, I don't know what just happened there. Yeah, so because the ideal is, like what people say is that you can go back post, and it is normal to go back post, but really, when the play is happening on the side of the field here, the kind of turn you can make is instead of going, see how he slows down, he's really slow, he's just waiting for this to happen. He can see he even almost wants to go inside the net. Like he knows that he like should almost be in this position. But really the best position is to be inside the net with your car facing forward like this. Because it is easy okay. Um but really it is easier to make this kind of turn and see what is how to shoot or how to approach this ball because you don't need to be back post. You just need to be covering where the ball is going. That's what the back post does. So if you turn inside the net here, then you literally just like imagine I'm the car. Imagine this camera is the car. You go in and you go like this, make a turn to go like this, and you just wait here and just wait for this guy to because if he shoots it, it'll be in this scenario in this position roughly. He's not going to approach it from that side and then shoot it left side. It's not physically possible. It doesn't really happen like that. If you just wait here, then you defend specifically. Again, I'm reiterating that this is inside the net. This is a very good position. And just let this player hit this ball because now this shot is also a lot more, it's an easier shot to take, but you can still also just dribble this ball if you need to as well. So it is a really good position to start putting in your games. Just be between the ball and the net. This is an okay shot, but it's not really a whole lot you can do, but nice demo. Nice. Fine. Maybe contest one. This is good. All right, letting his teammate get behind him here. Oh, they're kind of trolling each other. That's a little unfortunate. Like, sure, you should just be letting Jez deal with this ball here. This is okay. He does contest for him. Nice. Close the gap. Sure, you closes the gap. Probably shouldn't take the boost. Let's sure you go first. Nice. Doesn't let the ball go over his head. As literally, that's his objective here. All right. Sure, this is not really easily scoreable. He knows that Era is going to hit this ball, or at least just get a free touch over him, that he can't beat Era to this ball. Just let him touch it. If he possesses it, then sure you maybe can cut for him. That's a situation where we track back to what Trendy was saying. That sure you can contest this ball, or Jez can go then close the gap if he needs to, and sure you would get behind him. But no matter what, Jez just doesn't let the ball go over his head, and he can play it to the wall. He doesn't need to play for the B here. He kind of gets done with for that. He can pass it to himself, like TRK did in the last replay from the kickoff, and easily deal with this ball. But it is what it is. He just kind of kills himself. He doesn't have to. Nice. One player goes first. Ambitious jump here. Doesn't need to jump so quickly here. Close the gap first. Right. The fastest path to the ball always is to drive on the ground as much as you can and then jump. Just do that here. Sure, you has a possession here. Doesn't want to take time here. He should take the time here. Just like again, it's like what these players were doing in the last game. He's like, just keep the ball close. Like, don't even try to pass. Like, you have your boost, so you want to pass. Okay, that might not be a bad idea, but you don't need to do that here. Take matters into your own hands. Dribble this ball and just force this guy to. We talked about clear posts or close posts and far post shooting. Keep this ball close and 50 this player. Try to flick him. Just 1v1 him on zero boost. You have the possession here. Just try that instead. You don't have to pass to your teammate here. Forget about your teammate for a moment. But he does keep it close, able to do that. Nice. Doesn't let them freely possess it. Just touches multiple times. Sure, you're still going. This is not bad by Sure you. Jazz closing the gap. Let's sure you go behind him, but you shouldn't contest here. Don't contest like how Jazz contests here. You don't have to contest yet. This is a very easy way for the opposing player to get the ball over you. Just be close. But you don't have to actually go. You can get close to him and just don't let him drive it past you for free. Because what you're doing right now is you are 1v1ing this player, and you sometimes can go. This is like, it's okay to try to catch him off guard, but because this is 2v2, you have a player behind you. Stall time for sure you to get behind you. Let him get behind you so that when you do contest, it is a lot more predictable for sure you to save this. Because now he gets a one-on-one versus Jez, gets it by him, and now he gets another one-on-one versus Shoyu. And this is most likely a goal, or at least this should be a goal position. Almost. Right? But he had an opportunity right here. Slow down, and he could have instantly just hit the ball right here. If he really wanted to, he could just hit this ball and just take a shot. And if not a goal, then it would be a forced save with both players on the other side of the field and both opposing players with the ball on their side of the field, on the blue side of the field. So stall time for your teammates to come back. Let them get behind you, and make sure you get behind your teammates as well. Yeah. It's like, what can you do, right? He even 50'd him. Like, I 50'd this player, and it's like, there's not a whole lot to do. here. Like they kind of missed an open net here. But like notice that this is I don't know. I think Jeff got like faked by something. I don't know what he did here, but you can clearly see that this is an open net. Right, just play the ball here. You just kind of missed really more than anything else. Nice touch by Era. Nice contest by Jez. This is not a bad contest. Is it a little scary almost? Yeah, that's actually kind of insane. This is like not even a bad contest. You can wait again here. He was a bit slow here because he made this turn back. Like he could have not gone up the wall here. Just slow down right here in this moment. He even not gone out of the net yet. He doesn't need to go out of the net because he needs to wait for this interaction. He's not going for this ball. He's just, again, defend from inside the net. Wait for this interaction and then move up right here. And then all of a sudden, you can 50 this ball instead of onto your side on the left side. It could be onto their side on the left side. Sure, you could maybe follow it up. Maybe it goes to this player, but better than this. Like it was the intention of the contest was good, but it was too slow of a contest. Defending from inside the net. Like it's what the hell? Defending from inside the net it's really good. You can do that a lot in these rings. Don't really worry about the back post too much. Like still have it in your mind, but inside the net is good. Nice. Nice. Doesn't let Jeff get a free touch. Uh-oh. Just fine. Keeps it close. Nice. Close the gap. Don't flip. Don't use any boost. Just hang out. Anticipate mid here. This is a situation where you can pass. Hell yeah. Peace. Completely uninterceptable pass here. Sure, you flicks it by one, and then the other player just lets himself get demoed. And it's an open net mid. This doesn't really need, I don't need to say too much about this. Nice kickoff again. This guy's he's the best kickoff in the lobby. Able to start pressure off rip. Oof. That's 2 goals, right? 2 goals in this game just by having a good kickoff. Lets him get the lead. Should cheat on kickoff unless it's called back right. It is called back right. Nice. Just let it roll. Don't go for the ball here. Right? Just let this ball roll. Right? If this guy wants to go, what can he possibly do right now? Look at how early he jumps as well. What can he do that these 2 players cannot defend if he does actually go? Let Jez will stay on the backboard, and guess what the other player is going to assume in the situation? He's going to go back. He probably would end up going back post in this situation, but if not, defend from inside the net. Jez wouldn't have gone in this scenario. Jez, or sure, you would be coming back, and this is just a free ball. Just don't go. Let these players hit the ball. Because it's not threatening. Like you feel like you have to go. It's not scoreable. Right? It's off kickoff as well, right? Let him touch it. Just let him deal with that. He's just jumping at nothing. Should be a goal. Oh, no, Jez. No. Ouch. It is what it is. But yeah, you see like they kind of almost get a goal off of that as well. 50. Era takes 50 years to recover because he's not able to immediately get back for the ball in the net because he doesn't need to go in this ball. He can just close the gap. And it's like Jez just misses the open net. 2 missed open nets from both teams here. Nice. It's okay. Take the boost. No need to flip here. Just close the gap a little bit. Yeah, moving at the speed of the play. Nice. Honestly, insane touch. That's fucking crazy. He was feeling himself. Yeah, bro. That was
same.
Keeps it along.
Yeah, that was well played by him. But again, just take your time, right? You made a good play here, right? You go up the wall. It's like you have all the time in the world right now, right? Just get closer, make a better play here.
No, that was it's really good. Like he kept it along the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
He does that. Players do that. You can't keep it along the wall like this. Rolls it along the wall again, gets hit by one. Can just let the ball roll now. Doesn't even need to hit this ball, right? If Era decides to contest at any point, then you hit the ball. And it's just, he kind of trolls it. I'm sure you almost get something. This is okay. No, that's what I'm saying, right? It's like, this is what it is at Champ 2. Like, you're right, dude. It's just, that's the case. Like, these guys are pretty mechy, and it's like, you don't need to be that mechy. You can just do, this was insane, right? But here, just let it roll. Catch it on the ground. And 50 the player. And that's all it is. Here, closes the gap. Nice, he can leave here. That's not bad. Maybe he can get the boost on the other side here, but this is whatever. Early contest. Not really bad, honestly. Keeps it along the wall again to make it not easily possessible. Nice, it's fine. This is an okay bump to go for. It's a little scary. You don't really need to threaten this bump. You just need to get ready. Like, it's better for you to just defend because Yef is already not going to do anything on defense. Like, this is just leaving your team in a 1-on-1 as opposed to a 2-on-1. When really you can do is go for this ball and just not even go for this bump and just get ready to close the gap. Like, instantly just start flipping. Don't even try to get the bump. Just try to affect the player that's on the ball.
Yeah, like your objective is to depossess the opponent, right? You're not really depossessing anybody, bumping the other player, right?
Yeah. Like, Jeff already got the pass off. This is not an advantageous position to go for the bump because Era will have possession. You see, okay, Era might get this ball, and he tries to bump Jeff, and it honestly kind of helps. It like trolls him more than it helps him, you know. And then now 2-on-1 scenario, Era can have the ice in this scenario. Honestly, should take the time. This is a good play to go for Jeff. Recognize that he should go for a bump here. As soon as he sees Jeff go in front of him here, he should already, like, he's about to shoot this ball. You should bail on the shot. Just don't even go for the shot. When your teammate goes in front of you, usually, not always, when your teammate goes in front of you like this for this bump, try to play, either shoot it at the bump or genuinely try to take your time on the shot, because that usually means that this player is far back if your teammate decides to go for this bump. But Era has no ice, unfortunately, in this situation. Take the time here. Ouch. Secures a boost, though. Nice. Doesn't even need to go. Bad. Hits it to Yef. Honestly, this is okay. This is hard to possess. Yeah. Ouch. Keep it along the wall. Keep it close. Nice 50s by Yef. Nice. Keep it close. Don't pass. I mean, you could pass, honestly. Ouch. You could pass this ball, but you have infinite time in this scenario. So either make this decision right now to pass if you can't already possess this ball, or try to catch this ball. Keep the ball close here. This is unfortunate. My boy Era. Yeah. It's a little sad. But he shouldn't give up. This ball is still in play. Like, even if you mess up, like, you will mess up in these higher pressure. This is a high pressure situation, right? Where you do have a free ball here. Clock's ticking. You're down 1 goal. This is a moment like you can pass to Jeff. Honestly, if he passes it straight down here, maybe he gets it by Shoryu. Maybe. But make a decision. He kind of hesitated, and then he's like, "Fuck this," and then that's what it is. But I think like the main takeaway from this replay is defend from inside the net. And just, if the ball is already not on target, defend from inside the net here and just let your teammate play the ball and go accordingly here. And really, these guys we didn't do too much talking about it, but it's a lot of just staying close. Don't let the player have it for free. Let the ball roll. The ball is not on target. The ball is along the wall. It's safe. Let it come down the wall. Make your play on the ground. It's actually, I'm pretty confident that everybody here can get GC2, almost even GC3 by 90% of their games being them playing on the ground and making a play in the air. Of course, like taking your aerial shots, right? If the ball's like floating and you shoot the ball in the air, but a lot of the times, play the ball on the ground, 50 the player, and every time you are going to contest the player and challenge the player, get ready to instantly go between the ball and the net and get behind your teammate and let him know that, because when he's behind you, it gives him confidence to challenge. That's really what the main takeaways are from this. But I'm gonna invite both of you guys here. So we have a few people in the audience right now, but I'm gonna just invite Trendy. I'm gonna invite you to speak, and Raindrop. I'll invite Raindrop first. I'm gonna invite you to speak if you are willing to. You can decline it if you'd like, but if there's anything you just want to ask or message or just say in general. So you don't have to talk, but it's just to wrap up here, because that was basically it. That was basically what our seminar is, and this was our first time. I'll let you finish typing, and then I'll respond accordingly. And Trendy, you want to prepare a question or anything? If you do have a question, I will invite you to speak afterwards. Engage if you got anything you want to say. Brad, if you got anything you want to say. You guys were the... Yeah. I hope that there was something that we learned. I know it was kind of rambling. This is our first time doing this seminar, so we'll try to be a bit more structured next time. But really, I like going over the high level replays because you realize that a lot of the stuff they do is pretty routine. That of course they're mechanical, they can hit the resets, they can do all these kinds of things. But you saw dralii 50 times in that replay. The ball's rolling up the wall, and he just lets it roll back down. Is that he just doesn't make a play there. He just waits for it to go down. Let me see. I don't think these headphones have a mic, but you've hit on a lot of the things I see in C2. I've been finding myself go inside the net on D, and it helps a lot. And it helps. I also spent probably 2K hours on aerial mix alone, and it hasn't done much. So when you say focus on the ground in 50, it's definitely true. Been watching the players a lot more, like actually watching their car, and that helped a ton. That is great to hear. Right? You really do need to genuinely watch these players. Like, it sounds so stupid. I didn't talk about that much, but genuinely looking at the player as they're doing what they're doing. That's just the case. But these are definitely awesome to go through. You guys have been awesome on the 2 coaching sessions I went through so far as well. So just really appreciate all the effort you guys put in. I'm very grateful to hear that from you, Raindrop. Thank you. I really does mean a lot. And again, this was our first seminar where we kind of just we've never really done this, where it's really just replay analysis, but not catered towards a particular person. It's more so just trying to exchange the general concepts. But I'm glad that you did take that away, and I'm glad that you have noticed that the aerial mechanics, like, they're important, of course. They're not as important. Like, they are important, but really take the ball, take the 50, double jump the ball. Like, just to take your time on that and just do that instead, because that is what usually will outplay the player more than trying to be more mechanical than them. And it's defending from inside the net. Do that, and continue doing that, and you'll realize how many times that you will just have an easier path to the ball. You will just drive straight into the ball a lot more often. You'll be in position a lot more often. Thank you for that. Great job. It's just the case. Keep on 15, dude. Keep on getting behind your teammate, and you'll realize that, okay, this guy's not on target. Let him hit the ball or take 50s. Learn to take 50s into open space. Like, just 50 the player to the side along the wall. Keep it safe. Thank you. Great job. I'm going to invite Trendy to speak now. What's up, Trendy?
Oh, my bad. Hello? I was muted. Yeah, I was muted. My bad.
It's all good. What's up?
All right. Hello. So, a few of, like, the big things that, like, I note, like, that I remember, right, are from, like, both of the replays. Are defend from inside of the net, right? Try to stay on the ground more. When you're on backboard, or, like, sorry, when you're on the ground and your teammate's on backboard, to play high, make sure the opponent plays high for, like, the kid on the backboard or whatever. Yeah. But is there any other, like, major things from both of the replays that would help? Like, major things that, like, you pointed out that I'm forgetting?
Yeah, so I have a few notes written down that I kind of summarized throughout both replays. If you are missing any of those,
but cool. Yeah,
you can add on as well.
So, I guess something I didn't talk about in this replay too often is that, so I talked more about, or I mentioned that keeping the ball along the wall is safe, right? For the most part, like, you've heard me say that a few times, keeping the ball along the wall is pretty safe. And really what that is that when you're going to make a play on the ball, like, for the most part, when you say, like if you're looking at my screen, right, say this shot is coming to me right now. I don't want to get a save that just clears it back mid. Right. You don't want to save it. This goes in line with keeping the ball along the wall. Whenever you save a ball, because you're talking about placement, right? Like shooting with placement to force the player to save it close or save it far. When you are dealing with the ball a lot of the time, you never really want to play it directly back into midfield unless you know your teammate's going to contest that. So I guess, like, that's a pretty big one, because it's hard to, always, be mindful of possessing the ball and what to do, but at least you can default to, when you do get saves or when you do get good touches, or like it's you to go for the ball, you can force touches that just don't go directly down mid. And the reason you don't want touches that go directly down mid is because those are the easiest balls to deal with for the opponent. So I guess there's that. And to elaborate on when you mentioned the player on the ground contesting and the player backboard contesting as well, like how to contest in unison, is that you kind of have to determine that with your teammate. Like that's why I say to frequently get behind your teammate, is that when you get behind your teammate or they want to get behind you, you have to look at them and be on the same page as them almost always. So it's like if they're on the ground and it doesn't look like they want to go backboard, let them be on the ground and you just go backboard. But if they're on the backboard instinctively, get ready to be on the ground and just play the ball. Don't get faked and just try to force the player to go over you so that the player on the backboard can defend it. A lot of the time, especially at this rank, even like honestly, like Diamond 3 into Champ 1, players start utilizing backboard defense. And that is something you can do very frequently into even RLCS. Right, player on the ground goes, and then the player on the backboard is covering high, and both of them moving at the speed of the play. I guess another tip to add on to that is when you are the backboard, you're still shadow defending. Right, you're still shadow defending as if you were on the ground, but you're shadow defending from above. That's why I like one of the things that I talk about to players is being able to maneuver on the backboard accordingly. As in, because when you're on the backboard, your car just kind of falls. You have to always be pressing accelerate and like making these slight little turns so that you don't just fall off the backboard. You want to shadow defend them as well here. Like you don't want to just go backboard and just cover the high and just cover anything that's high, but you want to cover. You're defending what's happening. Right? It's not going to be random. You're going to see what your teammate's doing, what the opponent's doing. So you're shadow defending them from here as well. So I guess be mindful of that. That's like another thing you can add on. And really. I'm not sure if you said it. I guess the other really important thing would be to just, when you challenge, if you made your play on the ball and the second play, like say you're first man, right? Let's just say look at my screen, you're first man, challenge the player, and you go past the ball or let me do it from this side. So I'm orange team, right? Players dribbling, challenge the ball, all right? And they have position. You end up like behind or past them. If you can try to bump them, go for that, but just get ready to be between the ball and the net. Just get ready to be in that position. And I promise you, like you can play your next few games and just do that instinctively every time you go for the ball. And you'll realize how little you will get scored on, at least by stupid bullshit goals. Like you'll force the player to actually outplay you and actually use their mechanical or their Rocket League prowess to actually beat you as opposed to just letting them have it for free. I think that I mentioned that a lot because I think like I was watching, we did a session not too long ago with a player and I want to say he was champ 2 and it was a 6-man's replay. And he would just trust his team too much. As in, like, you don't really need to trust your team. You use them as tools more than you use them as a means to defend the net. You use them accordingly. So just get behind them. Let them know that, okay, I'm behind you so you can go. So that when you finish going, maybe you can go again or I can go. It's like that's what rotation is. So I would say it's that. But no, was that suffice, Dre? Do you have anything you want to say? Yeah, that's what it is. Trendy, I still open the floor to you. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
Yeah, so this wasn't really like touched on in the replay per se, but when it comes to like shadow defense, right, for ones, twos, and threes, if you're last man, right, and you're in like a 1v1 or even a 2v1 situation, right, and the opponent has the dribble, typically when you're going against like champ 2 or lower, right, for example, you'll notice a lot of moments where they kind of lose possession and you can challenge. But for example, like earlier when I was playing against like Wavy or like another one of like the high level players, right, it almost felt like there was like no time to like challenge because they always had like full possession, right? And that happens in my 2v2 games as well, right, where I'll be in a 1v1 situation, teammate just has insane, oh thank you, range up. But
It's dope.
yeah, the opponent will have like insane control, and I'm like, at what point do you challenge, right, if you don't notice any cracks?
So really, like, that's a good thing to talk about. I would say that when you're in 1v1, so more so, what happens is that the players at that level, when they're that good at possessing the ball, it's usually because you just gave them too much space initially. Right? It's because you allowed them to have that space before and to actually catch the ball. And you can still, like, there's situations where you just have to let the player catch the ball. But a lot of the times, you need to have already been, like, you almost want to play the entire game like it's a 1v1. Like, you never want to let the player have the ball for free and let them do what they want to do for free. So, like, how to answer this properly? It's you. It is difficult. So the high level players, it's difficult to find cracks in their defense because they always looks like they can just hit the ball over you. And the most you can do is usually at least force them to actually outplay you. Like, as in, you want to close the gap, and if they just end up flicking it past you, then that's just what it is. But sometimes it is okay. So, for example, you're like in a 2v1 scenario, right? It's just you, and then the other player's coming to bump, and the other player has full dribble, right? Like, as you were describing. Sometimes you can also just.
Oh, we lost him there.
Well, but just what's up?
You're lagging a bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Am I good? Yeah, is that sometimes you can just throw in the challenge. Like,